Fable. Fable is an action role-playing game that released all the way back in 2004. It was the start of a pretty successful franchise. What makes Fable stand out for many people compared to other games is that real choices are present, with an emphasis on moral decisions. In other games like the latest Dragon Age Veilguard, you can pick different dialogue options, yet you can't really be evil or mean. Your decisions are most of the time ultimately redundant. That is not the case for Fable. It has a very strong focus on your moral decisions. Very early on in the Fable games, you're put in a position where you can do either something morally good or something morally evil. And depending on your decision, the world around you will also interact with you in different ways. This gives the player the confirmation that their choices actually hold a lot of weight, that they can influence the game and see different outcomes depending on their choices. As an example, if my girlfriend plays through the game as a very morally good person, and I play as a very morally evil person, it can lead to two very different experiences. And this is the magic that made Fable so popular. However, I have to say that I personally never played the first Fable game. I've seen a friend of mine play it, and I wasn't that impressed back then. I did, however, play Fable 2 and later Fable 3. And I absolutely loved them, especially Fable 2. Fable 3 was the last successful game that was released from the Fable franchise, and that was in 2012. Next year in 2026, 14 years after the last release, a new Fable game is on its way. Even though it has its own share of little controversies already, there are also many people that are excited for this game. For me, I personally have realized that I still have not played the first Fable game, even after all these years. And that is why we are going to do that today. To ultimately find out, is the first Fable game actually good? From good deeds and small crimes, to massacres and saving the world. From leading a bordello to turning it into a woman's refuge. From killing people for the sole reason so we can buy their houses, to repenting for all our sins. All of this awaits us on this journey. So lean back, relax, and let's experience the journey of a boy known as Chicken Chaser. Our journey in Fable doesn't start with a character creator. Instead, you can only choose between male and female. There are ways to change the look of our character later. We can also choose the difficulty, either Chicken, which is the normal difficulty, or Heroic, which is the hard difficulty. On Heroic, it even says that resurrection vials will no longer be in the game. Health potions are much rarer to find, and the enemies are much tougher. Obviously, that is exactly what I want. And with that, the story of the little boy known as Chicken Chaser begins.
Deep in the forest of Albion lay the small town of Oakvale, unchanged by time and untouched by the sword. Here lived a boy and his family, a boy dreaming of greatness, of one day being a hero. Sometimes he imagined himself as a noble knight or a powerful wizard. And other times he dreamt he'd be an evil warrior. But in all his dreams of greatness, he could not possibly imagine the power of the destiny that lay before him.
Come on, wake up. Daydreaming again, were you? Just like your mother, mind always wandering. Well, let it wander off to find your sister, will you? She's out playing by the Barrowfields gate. Remember, you haven't given her a birthday present yet. Don't tell me you forgot to get her one. Well, I'm not bailing you out this time, son. I'll tell you what, I'll give you a gold piece for each good deed you do around Oakvale. That should be enough to buy her a present. Now, get moving and stay out of trouble.
Oakvale, the wonderful village where Chicken Chaser lives with his father, his mother, and his sister. Our goal is to collect 3 gold coins to buy a box of sweets from the trader, and give the box to our sister for her birthday. How we get these coins is up to us. We can either help the villagers by being a good person and receive the reward from our father, or we can help some villagers by doing evil things and get gold coins from them. The first person that needs our help is a little girl that has lost her teddy bear named Rosie. So we search around a bit, and behind the house we encounter these two.
Pumpkin.
Oh, he's...
What? I was just, I've never even met this woman. Who is she? Look, Sonny, keep your mouth shut about this, right? My wife's at home with our little ones, and I'm supposed to be working. But a man should be entitled to do what he likes, don't you think? Tell you what, if you keep this little secret, I'll give you a gold piece.
And here we already see the moral decisions that Fable has in store for us. I decided to be mostly evil during my playthrough, because not many games these days allow us to make evil decisions. So I cherish games that give players this freedom. So I took the gold piece from the guy and told him I wouldn't rat him out. And he leaves us with a very interesting advice, I guess.
Good lad. Here, have this gold piece. My advice to you, don't get tied down to one woman. Look after yourself. Forget everyone else.
We met the wife of the cheating husband. She searches for him and is obviously angry.
Where's that filthy layabout husband of mine? With some woman, I don't doubt. I run his house, bring up his children, and what do I get in return? Nothing. If you find him, let me know, won't you?
And this is very intriguing. We can actually decide if we want to tell her about her husband or not. This decision wasn't made by accepting the gold coin from the cheating husband, but instead we can get his gold coin and still rat him out to his wife. This may be a small thing to many other people, but to me this is a very important additional choice that I absolutely love. And the good news don't end here either, because as we choose to tell her where her cheating husband is, the quest is basically finished, but she actually runs to this place her husband is hiding at and yells at him. Many other games would simply finish it by giving you a reward and the quest giver being like, I will yell at him when he comes home, or something like that, and the quest giver will simply stay at the same spot. But not in Fable. They actually respect the story and think about what is happening after the player finishes the quest. We will see many more examples of that later, but for now, let's watch this.
You have? Right. I'm gonna turn him into balverine food. Thank you, young sir, for telling me. Wait till I get my hands on that pig! You filthy swine! I ought to chop them right off! Don't insult me anymore! My mother was right about you! Well, if you think I'm going to cook and clean for you while you're out having a good time with your strumpet, you've got another thing coming!
Please, my dear, I can explain everything.
Who is she anyway? Some tart from the village? Younger than me, is she?
Please, my dear, I can explain everything.
You filthy swine!
Since telling the wife of her cheating husband was a good deed, we can talk to our father and receive a gold coin from him. So with this singular quest, we got 2 gold coins by first being evil and then being good. On the other side of the village, we see someone bullying a little boy.
Idiots. What do you want? He was irritating me, playing with my sister and her stupid teddy bear. No, he won't give it to me, just because I said I'd rip its stupid head off. I told him if he doesn't do what I say, I'm gonna make his life a misery.
Get him off me! Please help! He goes around the town beating up anyone smaller than him. But you look strong. I bet you could scare him off for good.
Why are you playing with baby toys and
Oh no! First this boy was being nasty to me, and now you're hitting me too. Me and Emily just wanted to play with Rosie. I don't know what I've done. Someone tell me what I've done. Just take Rosie if it means you'll leave me alone.
And with this bad deed, we have enough gold for our sister's birthday present. And yes, we actually have to buy the present for our sister. We can't be evil and not give it to her. Before we give it to her, I decided to test the limits of the game and attack a guard.
What the blazes do you think you're doing? I'm a town guard. I'm not the sort you want to be hitting unless you want to spend a night in the barracks. Now, get out of my sight.
It seems like we can't mess everything up yet, since the guard doesn't take us seriously. However, as we give the box of sweets to our sister, this happens.
Have you got my present? I knew you were going to bring me chocolates. It's just like my dream. Come on, let's go home. Mother will be back for my party any minute now. Wait, there's something wrong.
Bandits!
It's really happening. They're here. You've got to hide.
Got one!
Evil had come to Oakvale. Bandits wielding torches and steel, slaying and burning all in their path. Blood-red flames lit the night as the villagers screamed and begged for mercy, and soon their bodies filled the streets. Then the raiders reached the last house, where the boy and his family lived. It was them they had slaughtered so many to find. The father fought to protect his kin, but he was no warrior, and fell mortally wounded. The bandits ripped the house apart, but could not find the boy. Through torture and threats, his mother and sister remained silent, and their furious attackers took them both. From the nearby woods, the boy watched as all he knew was taken away. His whole life was crushed to ashes. He was alone.
The village now on fire, and with most villagers dead, we decide to run back home to look for our family. And the only thing we find is our father laying dead on the ground. We get attacked by another bandit, but are ultimately saved by a man named Mace.
We must leave. It's not safe here. They're all dead. You don't want to join them, do you? Then give me your hand.
I thought you'd have a stronger stomach than that. Come on. Save your energy, boy. It's not me you want to fight. You might not realize it, but I just saved your life. There's nothing left for you in Oakvale. And if you'd stayed, you'd be as dead as the rest of them. Come with me. My name is Maze, and I'm the head of the Guild of Heroes. You must have heard of it. You'll find nowhere safer in all of Albion, nor a better place to call your home. And if it's vengeance you want, you'll need the training only we can offer. Here we are. I'll introduce you to the Guildmaster. He'll be your guide from now on. I have a new student for you. Put him in the dorm upstairs, with the girl.
You don't look much like hero material to me, but Maze knows what he's doing, I suppose. Well, follow me then. You'll be sharing this room with Whisper, one of our brightest young pupils. She's playing in the woods right now, but you'll meet her in the morning. For now, you should get some sleep. Your training starts tomorrow.
So Maze brought us to the Heroes Guild, and the Guildmaster now trains us to become a hero. Not the hero, a hero. There are many of them. And I really want to point this out now because it is honestly such a great way to get players into the game. Well, the first section of the game in Oakvale was to introduce us to the morality system and showed us that we have a big impact in the story. This section in the guild now is the tutorial for combat. It is crazy to me that they have managed to not only teach us about the game, but also simultaneously tell us more about the world we live in such a good way. To teach us some combat, the Guildmaster gives us a stick and we beat a training dummy with it. This simply shows us how to target enemies and how to use melee attacks. And with this knowledge, we immediately get a chance to use what we learned when we hear the alarm bells. In the Guild Woods, a few beetles cause trouble, and the Guildmaster sends us to take care of them. It is a very simple quest and is perfect to get new players to learn about melee combat and targeting. So honestly, well done to whoever decided that. And with this ends our first day at the Heroes Guild, but many more await us.
The guild was now the boy's life. The memory of the Oakvale flames still scorched his mind, but soon he had no thought other than training, and he became stronger and more agile with every passing year. His days were filled with grueling exercises, the nights with study in the library. Finally, he was ready to become a guild apprentice, just as Maze had foreseen. The real training was about to begin.
Get out of bed, lazy bones. We were supposed to meet the Guildmaster on the other side of the river, but that was an hour ago. We better get going. Race you there.
Now, many years older, our real training begins, and for that the Guildmaster hands us an iron sword. We will be training together with Whisper, our roommate. She is talking down to us a lot, and even her older brother, who is also a hero, shows up and also talks down to us.
Now let's see if you can combine attack and defense. Ah, hello, Thunder. Come to check on your sister's progress, have you?
You could say that. Whisper told me you've got her training with some farm boy.
Maze thinks the boy has great potential.
Enough to keep up with my Whisper. Ha!
Well, why don't we see? Whisper and the boy are just working on their melee skills now. All right, children, let's see who has learnt the most in their training. This will be a no-holds-barred duel, just like your final melee test. Prepare yourselves.
We beat her in melee combat and can continue with our next training session. However, what we can also do is perfect our melee skills by getting a test grade of A+. We have to again beat Whisper, and as we do well, he gives us a new sword, an iron katana. But now, let's move on to the archery range. Here we receive a yew longbow and learn how to use ranged weapons. After the tutorial we again can take an additional test, and if we manage to get an A+, we get another prize. The prize is a yew crossbow, which is simply a stronger ranged weapon. After that we learn about the willpowers. And here I learned that the targeting mid-combat is actually awful, and I hit the guildmaster multiple times with my thunder during the test. However, he isn't bothered by it, and says we have done well. So lastly, we want an A+ on this too, since we want a prize. I again want to point something out here. Every time the guildmaster gives us a tutorial first, and then while he walks to the next discipline, the other guy that tests us will start running to the tutorial area we just completed, and will then give us the chance to take the test. You can see it on the map up here by following the green points, which are people that have quests for us. After the willpower tutorial, you see the green point moving towards us, and then as he comes closer, you see that it is the test guy. This small thing makes the world feel much more alive than simply have the test guy appear out of thin air. So again, well done to the developers. Just beside the willpower tutorial is a stone door with a face, and he says this.
Your path is dark. Only a light will reveal it, and you are not bright enough.
I assumed he meant that we had to be a better person until he would let us through. So I decided to move on. We will get back to the demon doors later. We help Whisper with a few beetles in the Guildwoods, but instead of beetles we encounter a bunch of bandits. A small river separates us from the bandits, so the only way to deal with them is to either use a ranged weapon or willpower. So yes, you guessed it. That is again a nice tutorial that requires us to use what we just learned. And now it is time for another time skip.
The boy mastered the skills quickly, but there was always more to learn. For years the guild was his home, his school and his life. But as time passed, his thoughts returned always to the world outside, the life he had lost, the family that had been torn from him. At last, only the final day of tests remained. Success would mark the end of his training. He would receive the guild seal and be free to forge his own destiny. He would become a hero.
Let the apprentices approach. For many years now you have worked hard to earn yourselves the title of hero. Today, that apprenticeship ends and you go out into the world to do great deeds. Deeds that will bring you the gratitude of thousands, or strike fear into their hearts. These are dark times. The shadows of Albion are stirring, and strange winds are blowing. Your choices, whether they lead you down the path of good or evil, will change the face of the world. Now, take your guild seals and venture forth as heroes.
As our last tutorial before we can freely move around, the Guildmaster teaches us how to level up our skills. Now let me explain that. There are 3 hero disciplines in Fable, and depending on how you fight enemies, you will get more experience for a specific discipline. The first one with the red color is Strength, which is for more damage with melee weapons, more health, and more damage resistance if an enemy hits you. You can receive Strength experience by killing enemies with melee weapons. The second hero discipline in yellow is Skill, which is for more attack and reload speed, more damage with ranged weapons, and better prices with traders. You can receive skill experience by killing enemies with ranged weapons. And the third hero discipline in blue is Will, which lets you learn many different spells that can be used to heal, manipulate enemies, buff yourself, or to simply annihilate enemies with thunder and fire. And you can receive will experience by using the willpower spells. This is important because whatever you use the most is the skill you will be able to upgrade the most. Because for example, red strength experience cannot be used to level up blue willpower spells. And that is where the last green experience comes in. It is just generic experience which you receive for killing any enemy, no matter how you kill them. And this green experience can be used to level up any of the 3 hero disciplines. With this finished, the world is now open for us to explore. I decided to help out at the picnic area, which was infested with wasps. After killing the wasp queen and being celebrated by the locals, we move on to Bowerstone.
Oi! You're new here, aren't you? We have some rules round here that you need to know about. Bowerstone is a peaceful town. I'll have to confiscate your weapons for now. There are shops, inns, lots of different people, games, all kinds of things. Why not pay the tavern a visit first? It's the building in front of you, just up the road from here. Oh, and keep an eye open for Lady Grey. Treat her with respect. She is the mayor after all. Have a look around and enjoy your stay in Bowerstone.
Mace meets us in Bowerstone and tells us that we might have not been the lone survivor of the attack in Oakvale many years ago. Rumors say that our sister is still alive, but we don't know any details at this point. As the cutscene ends and Mace disappears, we suddenly have committed a crime, even though I have not done anything. The guard runs to me and wants 750 gold for theft. I do not have the money, so they simply want to kill me now. The guard shoots me with a crossbow, and I decide to fight back with my bare fists. And by doing that, the game warns me that hitting villagers will result in a hefty fine. The fine increased to 1,250 gold, and while I was hitting one of the guards, doing apparently no damage, the other guard hit me from behind and knocked me out with one hit. This resulted in them taking 650 gold off me and kicking me out of the village. I could simply walk back into the village, but while the fine got reduced to 350 gold, it didn't disappear. So as I entered the village, there were already 3 guards waiting at the entrance to attack me. As this simply continued to happen, I decided to do another quest, so I could pay the 350 gold and be free of the charges against me. And here I learned that I can either take a quest, or I can take a quest and boast. Taking a quest is simply accepting it without any restrictions. But by taking a quest and boasting, you can add another layer of difficulty to the quest and increase its rewards. This is done by, for example, saying you will do the quest naked, so with no armor stats like I did here. The quest was to help some bandits rob a few things from the farmers. Whisper, however, didn't like that. Apparently not because she thinks we are evil, but simply because she wants to be against our choice. So I would assume that even if we helped the farmers against the bandits, she would have helped the bandits simply to oppose us.
So you can do it. I'm still going to beat you though. You beat me again! I suppose this quest is yours then. But you can't stay lucky forever, farm boy. We're bound to meet again, and I'll be ready.
With this quest finished, we have enough money to pay our fine in Bowerstone. So we return and the fine is simply gone when we arrive. We didn't have to pay anything anymore. I assume this is because some time has passed? I don't know, but I do not get attacked anymore and I can keep my money, so I'm okay with that. In Bowerstone we meet Thunder, Whisper's brother that again talks down to us and belittles us with how weak and pathetic we are. Hopefully we can kill him later. I feel the evil rising within me.
I want a
Well, well. Look who it is. Come to play with the other children, have you? Shame Whisper had such a soft spot for you. She should have taught you a lesson in Orchard Farm. But she'll learn. I only hope you both end up in the arena one day. Then we'll see who the greater hero is. But I've wasted enough time talking. The Guildmaster needs me back at the Guild. He can't entrust important quests to novices like you.
On our way to the next quest, our path is blocked by a couple of bandits that demand us to pay gold every time we pass through this path. Our answer is to simply kill them all. And now we arrive at the Rose Cottage, where an old lady greets us.
James, is that you? Oh, James is my grandson. You have to find him. He's the only relative I have left. Such a sweet, helpful boy. I don't know how I'd manage without him. I knew this would happen. He's gone back to those caves. I just know. He got quite a scare with the things he saw down there last time, I can tell you. But he did bring back some gold. Oh, and he found something else while he was there. I don't know what it's for, but it might be useful. Here. Please find him. I don't know what I would do if anything happened to him.
Her grandson has gone missing and she assumes that he had gone back to the Hop Caves to get some gold. So we make our way there and oof. Here we get to a pretty annoying part of Fable. The enemies don't necessarily get much stronger or much more difficult. Instead, the difficulty is increased by having these quest territories where an endless amount of enemies spawn. If one enemy hits me, I lose between 60 and 80% of my HP right now. And while the enemies are quite easy to kill or to avoid them, they spawn endlessly in this area. And at some point one of them will land a lucky hit that potentially could one-shot us. We will see more of this endless enemy spawning later down the road. And this is simply how games back then increased the difficulty, by either increasing the damage and the HP of the enemy or by increasing the amount of enemies. I'm very happy that games these days go away from this easy solution and instead have enemies on hard mode change their behavior. They have less openings for you and a completely different way how you deal with them compared to the easy mode. It's not just the numbers of enemies or the damage and the HP numbers that go up. Anyway, in this cave we find a bandit that tried to steal things from the hobs.
Thanks, mate. It was rather embarrassing getting caught by those hobs. Me and the lads were searching the caves for treasure. Legends say it's full of their stuff. Well protected, too. They caught us and stuck us in cages. Been taking us away one by one ever since. I don't know what they did to the rest, but I heard screams that'd chill your blood. But hey, less people, bigger share, right? So, what do you say we go looking together?
We take the bandit with us deeper into the cave and find the missing boy.
What do you want? You wish to take the child? I will not give him up. The sacrifice must proceed. Provide an alternative human, and I may release him. Very well. Take the boy. Now get out of here. Before I change my mind.
What's going on? You backstabbing scum! I'll get you for that.
we trade the boy for the bandit and leave the cave. This starts an escort quest, where we have to lead the boy outside. And trust me when I say, escort quests absolutely suck in Fable 1. I decided to try my luck by simply running past all the enemies and enter into the next area. This would safely take the boy with us before the enemy could kill either him or me. Here I also want to mention that Fable has the old checkpoint save system during quests. This means if at this point either the boy or I myself die, we have to redo the entire quest at the start of the cave when I entered it. But my strategy actually worked, so we could return the boy to his home. However...
Wait, you're not going to leave me with her, are you? You think the nymph was bad? My granny is worse. Whose idea did you think it was to go into those caves in the first place? Well, I'm not standing for it much longer. First chance I get, I'm out of here. I'll have to pick up a few things first, though, and I suppose you want your reward. Don't tell her what I said, though. Come on.
Oh, thank you for returning my grandson, Hero. James, come here and give your granny a hug.
Slowly I became much stronger, and I even learned the Berserker spell that makes us swole like no other. And we are going to need that for our next quest, escorting a bunch of traders through the Darkwood Forest. This is a Balverine, and we will learn more about them soon. Now don't forget, we play on the hard difficulty, and with that the enemies do a lot of damage. And that's not only more damage on us, but also on people that we bring alongside us. Bandits are killing the traders that we have to escort so fast that I decided to simply tell them to wait at the start of the area until I clean the area from all enemies. However, the enemies simply ignore me and run straight to the traders to attack them, which left me running after them trying to kill them before they kill the traders. This quest made me hate and avoid any escort quests in the rest of the game. I mean, look, the bandit attacks the traders, and as I attack him to rescue the traders, the movement from my attack makes me transition into the area from before. However, we finally made it to the Barrow Fields, and with that, to the end of this horrible escort quest. And now we enter Oakvale, the village we lived in as a young boy with our family, before it got raided by bandits. And here we meet a familiar face.
Hello, I remember you. We thought you died in that awful bandit raid all those years ago. So where have you been all this time? You do remember me, don't you? I was looking for Rosie, my teddy bear, just before the raid. After that day, my parents moved to Bowerstone, but I never really liked it there. Are you all right? I think I lost you there for a second. Anyway, I have to go now, but it was great to see you again. Bye!
After this horrible flashback, we meet Mace in the village, and he tells us more about her sister.
Over here. Ah, there you are. I thought maybe you were getting too famous to be seen round here. I'm afraid I've heard nothing more of your sister, and there's little else I can do. There is hope yet, though. A blind seeress lives among Twinblade's bandit clan. She may be able to tell you about your sister. The seeress stands next to the bandit king himself. And it's no coincidence the bandits have been doing so well lately. Have you heard of Twinblade? He was a hero once. Yes, giant of a man. He had little patience for the guild, though. He left and brought together a dozen bandit factions. I always suspected he was behind the attack on your home. This could be your chance for revenge. The camp can't be far from here. The village is often under attack. I've left a quest card at the guild with the details.
So the path is clear. Go to the bandit camp and confront the bandit king to learn more about our sister. However, before that, I decided to just murder everyone and everything in Oakvale. With a bounty of 22,000 gold, I got bored and decided to get back to the guild to level up and prepare myself for the continuation of our journey. To strengthen myself for future battles, I decided to visit the Fist Fighters gang. With that, we earned ourselves a little bit of money. But you know, money isn't all in life. I only realized that after the talk with this old man here.
Hello there. I don't think you've met my daughter, have you? She's rather lovely, if I say so myself, though a bit fussy. She's keen to meet strong, handsome men like you. Ah, that's good news. I think she was starting to get a bit lonely. Thing is, she only likes men whose hair looks like the picture on this card.
Obviously, we have to change our entire appearance to the liking of random girl. So we go to the barber and get the haircut.
Hello again. That's just about the perfect haircut. My daughter will be very happy. But I forgot, she also prefers men with beards that look a lot like the one on this card.
But his daughter obviously has higher standards and wants her future husband to also have a suitable beard.
Oh, hello. Nice beard. You're really starting to look the part now. No moustache, though. Didn't I mention she loves the one on this card?
And finally, after getting this very interesting mustache, we are ready to meet his daughter.
Nice selection of face fungus you have there. But to be honest, I don't give two hoots what you look like, and neither does my daughter. She doesn't even exist. I just like making heroes like you look stupid. Have you seen yourself? You look ridiculous. But you've made me happy, so here's a little reward. Now go and have a shave.
Turns out, old Baldy here lied to us. He doesn't even have a daughter. And here I have to applaud the game developers once again. Because this might seem like a waste of time and just a random side quest. But in reality, it is a tutorial that teaches you all the different things you can change if you go to the barber. This is great because it gives you a little side story, a quest on its own that is not simply telling you, hey, go to the barber, there you can change your hairstyle for no apparent reason. Here in Bowerstone we can also purchase a house, and when you buy it, you can also rent it out to other people to get a continuous income of gold. You still have to show up every few days to collect the money, but we will do more of that later. Now it's time to meet the Bandit King. To get to him, we have to sneak past the bandits, so they don't close the gates and lock us out. This is a small stealth mission that is not really difficult and also not really fun. We disguise ourselves as a bandit and walk through the gate. This way we can approach the Bandit King named Twinblade.
I've been waiting for you.
Stand back, lads! Twinblade wants a word with this little hero!
She said a guild puppet would come, and here you are. My blades have been dying to meet you. They haven't been fed for days. You don't look like much of a meal, though. Draw your blade, guild puppet. Let's see what you're made of. Don't be scared.
Yeah, girl, carry on.
Finish it quick then. I'd do the same for you.
There you are. What's wrong? Don't you recognize your own sister?
Her past once again before her, Teresa's memories returned in a blaze of fire. Oakvale was burning. She watched in silence as the bandits tortured her mother, then turned to her with questions of the missing boy. She answered them only with a stare, and so their leader sliced out her eyes. The raiders took the boy's mother and left Teresa alone in the forest. There she crawled for 3 days, blind and desolate, until she was found by bandits, Twinblade and his men. She began a new life of servitude among their clan. But the bandit king sensed her exceptional strength and power of will, and listened as she whispered dark prophetic truths in her sleep. Those who could never accept this small blind girl standing by their master's side did not last long. When they attacked, she killed them without mercy and without emotion. For this was her place in the world now.
I've seen so many things, so much killing, so much dying. I've seen you, little brother, in a ring of sand and blood, an arena full of secrets. And I've seen the choice you'll have to make one day between the darkness and the light.
Teresa!
I'm sorry, Twinblade. Your path is alone now. All our paths are. But before I leave, brother, I have a present for you. For all the birthdays I've missed. A power that runs in our family. He finds you when you're sleeping and when the daylight fades.
What are you waiting for? Finish it, or leave me alone. I'm dead anyway. I'm no one's king anymore. Just don't kill me. I don't want to. Fine. If that's the way it has to be. Right yourself.
So sister is still alive and vanished after we defeated the bandits. With no clue to where she is, we decide to help Maze and his archaeologist. The archaeologist hides behind a demon door, and for the demon door to open, it wants us to do something.
I only open to those who know my name. If you know it, find and hit the magic stones to spell it out. Only one person knows my name, but I doubt you'll find him, even at the Temple of Avo.
It's these stones, and we have to spell the name Hits, and the demon door opens for us.
I-T-S. Hits.
So you worked out my name. Big deal. In you go.
So, you found me. That's just grand. If you can find me, so can they. I should never have started studying the focus sites. But how was I to know Jack was interested in them too? Yes, Jack of Blades. Look, I have no time to explain. You can read my journal if you want. I don't want it anymore. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'll be off. It's not safe for me here anymore, thanks to you.
That surely was a thankful person. However, we did learn some new things. For example, that the legendary hero Jack is apparently still alive. And here I can introduce another little feature that I really like about Fable. We all know how annoying it can get when games give you many books of lore text to read. At some point most people stop caring and stop reading them. Fable has a little side quest to solve this problem. In Bowerstone is a teacher that is looking for books to read to the kids. If you hand him a book, a cutscene will play where he reads the text for you and the kids. This is done with a lot of humor, which makes it pretty easy to get through the entire lore books without getting bored. Let me show you 3 different examples.
Today's lesson will be on how to make friends. This fine hero has just given us a good example of how to make friends by donating this book to the school. Helping people out and giving presents are both good ways to make friends. Can anybody tell me another way to make friends?
Sir! Sir!
Yes?
Tell them you'll smash their teeth in if they won't be friends with you.
No, Billy. Threatening people is not really a good way to make friends with them. I think we need to work on this some more. Books, what is that you have there? The Ugly Guide? I'm sure you'll agree this snotty lot needs no help in that area. Don't tell their parents I said that. I suppose it can't do any harm. Today's lesson is from the Ugly Guide, which this hero has donated to our school. For some reason. Now, what do you think makes a person look ugly?
Having stupid hair.
That's right. Certain haircuts can make a person less attractive, as can some forms of facial hair, especially on a woman. Any other ideas?
Eating too much.
Very good. That's why everybody in Albion has such a perfect waistline. From the greatest hero to the lowliest beggar. Except for Jenna from Orchard Farm, of course. She used to be but a slip of a girl, but now... that woman certainly likes her cider. Anyway, that concludes our lesson for today. Why don't you stay and listen, hero? It's never too late to learn.
What strange land is this to which the storm my body has delivered? Surely heaven it is. And I be dead, for as in a dream I saw the ship torn from 'neath me by the waves and felt death's foul kiss. But hush now, who comes here?
Truly my eyes doth deceive me, for I thought I saw some strange thing move amongst the wreck by the shore.
Now I know that I'd be really dead. For in this fair land do angles tread.
That's angels, Billy, not angles.
25 years have I tended this inn, not knowing my wife was living in sin. For while I served the townsfolk ale by day, at night my wife served them in another way. But soon they'll regret leading her astray. When next they sip my ale, it will be their lives that pay. He who hath slept with my love will die at its taste. Then I shall see if any among them can call themselves chaste.
Thank you, Billy. I think that's enough for today.
This feature is very good, but it has one big flaw. It doesn't show you which books you already delivered to the teacher. So if you're only missing 1 or 2 books, it will be pretty annoying to figure out which ones you already gave to the teacher and which ones are left to be delivered. And we will need to deliver every single book to 100% complete the game. But we will do that later. But for now, let's visit a village called Knothole Glade. As we arrive here, the village gets attacked by Balverines, these werewolf-like creatures. Here we can talk a little bit about the fighting style I chose. It is melee focused with the spell Multi-Strike that does spam after every attack. The Multi-Strike spell simply makes it so if you hit the enemy, he gets additional hits. Early on, it's just 2 additional hits, but later it can go up to 6 additional hits, which is just brutal damage. And not only is the damage very high, the sheer amount of hits also throws most enemies to the ground, which gives me a chance to buff myself again with Multi-Strike and hit the enemy again as soon as he gets back up. Additionally to that, I use the Berserker skill, which increases my attack damage by a lot for a short duration. This paired with Multi-Strike is the reason why I can kill even bosses with only 2 attacks. And as the last spell I regularly use during my playthrough, I chose the Assassin's Stab. It teleports us a short distance towards the enemy, and if we are close enough, it teleports us straight behind the enemy, which again fits perfectly with my Multi-Strike Berserker playstyle. Back to the story now. There's a white Balverine attacking the village. We managed to drive him out, but...
That thing's skin is too tough, even for you. We had a great hunter in Knothole Glade once. He died fighting the last white Balverine. His wife still lives in one of the houses up at the top of the hill. If anyone knows how to hurt that bloody thing, it'll be her. The damn thing was just waiting for you.
How could it know where we were going?
He was here again, wasn't he? I didn't want to hurt him, but this time, he's gone too far.
What the blazes are you talking about?
The white Balverine. It's my husband. Or it was, once. He was bitten by the Balverine he killed. And slowly, he turned into the creature he hunted for so long. For a while, he could control himself. But anything that was left of my husband is dead now.
That's the town horn. It must be attacking again.
My husband used silver weapons to hunt the last white Balverine. Please take this. End his pain.
The silver augment on our weapon finally manages to hurt the white Balverine, but it doesn't give up that quickly. It runs into the forest and we follow it. During the fight you also see something fairly interesting in terms of gameplay. If you get hit by an enemy and drop to 0 HP, you can still survive it by quickly using a potion or a food item to heal up. It will not save you from everything, as we will see later, but in terms of regular enemies, as long as you have food items or potions, you basically cannot die, even if your health drops to 0. It was indeed a close fight with that many Balverines, but we managed to do it. As a reward for killing the White Balverine, the village elder gives us a recommendation for the Witchwood Arena.
Welcome to the Hall of Heroes. If you follow me, I'll take you to the arena preparation area. I tell you, the history of this place is wasted on the public. The arena's first heroes, our land's heritage. But do people care? Nah. People don't want history, they want the heroes of today. Still, I suppose every era needs its own heroes. Quite profound that. You can quote me if you like.
Welcome to the Witchwood Arena. A couple of basic points first. First of all, I must remind you to keep your aggression for the arena itself. Anyone caught trying to cut up his rivals in here will be in trouble. You have been warned. Secondly, the way out. You can come in after each round, not during a round.
Ralph, it's getting really ugly out there.
Alright, you, Chameleon. You've heard all this before. Go on for the first round and keep the crowd happy.
No problem. This'll be easy.
Okay, when it's your turn, I'll call your name and you will enter the arena through the door our friend Chameleon just used. Once in the arena, you will battle foes from all over Albion. Every group of creatures you defeat wins you prize money and increases the prize for the next round. The aim is to stay out there as long as you can to earn the big gold. Now, you can come back here anytime you like to buy potions or more equipment. Do this though, and your price for the next round will be 0. And worse, the crowd will think you're a big loser. Real heroes get out there and stay out there. Whether you rest or not, the arena bonus prize, given by Jack of Blades himself, will go to whoever gets through every single round alive. So, get out there. Use your skills well, make sure the crowd enjoys it, and if you have to die, do so bravely. The rest of you, wait your turn.
Ross, bad news. I think Chameleon's, dead.
What? Already? Idiot. Right, people. It seems Chameleon only made it through 3 rounds before dying like a chicken in front of 5,000 people. We need a new volunteer. New man, you look ready. In you go. Talk to Al up by the door. He'll let you into the arena.
Ladies and gentlemen, for your entertainment, I give you Deathbringer, famous for such quests as Orchard Farm and defeating ex-hero Twinblade. Like our other brave challengers, this up-and-coming hopeful has an eye on tonight's grand prize, presented by Jack of Blades himself. And we're on to the first round. An old arena favorite. It's the Wasp Horde. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the team rounds. 2 heroes, side by side, fighting together for their very survival. And there's been a last-minute change to the hero lineup. It's the sister of arena legend, Thunder. Let's hear it for Whisper. So, the 2 of them together, can they defeat the Balverines? 3, 2, 1, go!
The arena round 7 was probably the most annoying one, as it were 2 stone trolls, which are just flinging me around, basically perma-stunning me.
Ladies and gentlemen, today you have seen the best of Albion's arena fighters. Put your hands together for our successful heroes. But now, round 8, the final battle. I give you Arachnox!
This Scorpion is not necessarily strong, but simply annoying when you only use melee attacks, as its melee attack is instant and deals 80% of my HP as damage. But the tactic is quite simple once you figured it out. You stay at range until it charges its tail attack. While it is charging, you can hit it a couple of times, and then back off until it charges again. Sometimes it also buries itself and spawns small scorpions, but it's nothing mind-blowing. If you wonder why the crowd isn't cheering and is suddenly booing now, that is because I got hit a couple of times by the Scorpion boss whilst I was learning its movements. However, the arena isn't done yet.
We have 2 winners! Incredible! So, what will happen? 2 winners and only 1 prize? Well, as you know, we have a special guest here today. It's the one, the only, the hero of heroes, Jack of Blades!
I have returned. After an eternity away from you all, Jack of Blades is back. This arena is all that is great in Albion, and you all that is worthy of it. I am honored to stand before you again. And I have a proposal to mark the occasion. One final round. A fight to the death between the 2 heroes still standing. The winner will receive a special prize. The loser will have the privilege of dying before you.
What do they think they're doing? They can't do this! I'm going to put on a good fight. But I'm not killing you. I can't kill you. We came here to put on a good show. And that's what we're going to do. Let's go.
All he has to do is give her 1 final strike, and the bonus prize is his! But will he do it? Will he kill Whisper? Or will he throw his victory away?
Don't do it, farm boy. We agreed. Just walk out.
I mean, Whisper, after all these times I beat you, you still call me a lowly farm boy? See ya in the afterlife.
He's done it! We have a new arena champion! Let's hear it for the new conquering hero! By killing Whisper, this man has earned a bonus purse of 10,000 gold! And now, let's praise our new arena champion one more time!
Obviously, her big brother isn't that happy about it.
But my lady, he killed Whisper. He's nothing but a...
Ah, there you are. The hero they're all talking about. I'm impressed, and that doesn't happen often. But I forget my manners. I am Lady Grey, the Mayor of Bowerstone. I can see you are a man of worth. You should pay me a visit at my Bowerstone North Manor.
You murdered my sister. You'll die the slowest death.
Thunder, I am tired of your protests and your petty squabbles. You cling on to past glories and ridiculous family ties like an old fool. As I was saying, hero, I do hope you will accept my invitation. We have much to discuss.
You are a walking corpse. I shall never rest till Whisper is avenged.
Oh, Big Boy Thunder, you should have treated little chicken chaser better, because if I get the opportunity, I will make sure you get your family reunion. But we also learn more about our mother.
Truly deserve to stand amongst them. I must say, you remind me of someone who fought here many years ago. Memory's not what it used to be, but I think her name was Scarlet Robe. That's right. Ever heard of her? Probably not. It was all before your time. But if you look on your right, you'll see her statue. She was the first female hero to become arena champion.
She was a fine hero, just as soft-hearted as you. But her dedication came with a price. After her final battle, she was never the same. She lives now in complete solitude, crushed by her failure to save her family long ago. And yet here you are. I knew her son would end up here one day. It's in your blood, and in your sister's too. You should bring her to me. I so long to reunite you both with your mother. Just think of the happiness it would bring her.
This was the true face of his mother, Scarlet Robe, Slayer of Balverines. Once one of the fiercest heroes in all of Albion, yet her most splendid battle was also to be her last. Ambushed by a dozen Balverines, Scarlet killed them all, only to fall injured and drained beside their corpses. There she would have died but for Brom, a kind and simple woodsman who tended her back to health. In time they married and had 2 children, a girl and then a boy. Scarlet's days of death were forever behind her.
With the Arena Champion seal, we can now enter Bowerstone North, which is basically where the nobility lives. Here we meet Lady Grey.
So, you're the one everyone is talking about. I must say, you have me intrigued. Will you walk with me to the courtyard? I would so love to speak with you. It's lovely here, don't you think? But sometimes it feels like the loneliest place in the world. You see, I haven't married yet. Somehow I've never met a man worthy enough. I've always known that only someone who could conquer the arena could conquer me. Perhaps you could bring me a gift from town. I'm sure you can find something fitting for a lady.
Lady Grey wants us to do a couple of things to prove our worth as a potential future husband of hers.
Oh, that's beautiful. I knew you'd have a romantic soul, not like some heroes. Of course, a woman in my position can't marry into poverty. The very least one can expect is that a man will have his own house. I'm so pleased to hear you have a house. I wouldn't want to think you wanted to marry for the money. Would you do something heroic for me now? A while ago, I lost a necklace. It is most precious to me. Perhaps you could investigate round town. Someone must know its whereabouts.
But apparently, something is wrong with Lady Grey.
Finally, someone to talk to. You've got to help me out. The mayor's having me executed. That's what happens when you start asking too many questions round here. That woman is a demon, but no one will believe me. Just because I was wrong about the guards controlling our dreams by spiking our water supplies. Her sister was an angel. Would have made a wonderful mayor. And I know Lady Grey killed her. I just know it. You have to help me prove it. Otherwise, Bowerstone will remain in her clutches, and I'll be executed.
So off we go to Barrowfields to talk to Rodri.
Maybe I should... Amanda? Yes, of course, I knew her. I think about her all the time. She was so beautiful, so pure. She was afraid her sister would find out about us and use it against her, stop her from becoming mayor. I'm no noble, after all. So, we'd meet in secret in the grey house cellar. I would sneak out to the stables and flash my lamp 3 times to let her know I was there. One night, she didn't come out, and I found the cellar door locked. Her sister, Elvira, Lady Grey as she's now known, told me she had died of some terrible illness. Then the house was abandoned, and I never even got to... I'm sorry. It's too painful to talk about.
Apparently Elvira, now known as Lady Grey, killed her sister Amanda, who should have become the mayor of Bowerstone. But before we leave to find out more, we talk to this demon door, and it tells us it only lets people through that are really big. So we ate a lot.
Ah, at last, a fine figure of a man. That's what I like to see. It's said that inside every fat person is a thin one trying to get out. But no, I say outside every thin person is a fat one trying to get in. Enter, weighty wanderer.
That was certainly interesting. With that we got a small reward and opened our first demon door. We will do more of that later, but for now let's return to Lady Grey.
I don't believe it. My necklace. I thought I'd never see it again. You continue to prove yourself a most deserving suitor. But you are not the only arena winner who seeks my hand. No doubt you have heard of Thunder. It's quite bewildering to have 2 such fine suitors. Now, if you could prove yourself a better man than he, perhaps in a battle, things would certainly seem clearer. I'll be waiting for the winner in the gardens. Best of luck.
Oh yes, this is perfect. Thunder was always so mean to the little boy Chicken Chaser. And over the next few years, Chicken Chaser has won every single contest against his sister to prove he is better than her. He won the arena and even killed Thunder's little sister. And now Chicken Chaser also gets the opportunity to steal the girl that Thunder is interested in. I love it so much.
First you kill my sweet sister, and now you try to take the woman I love. I will crush your filthy bones till there is nothing left. Meet me at the executioner's block on the hill. I can think of no better place to kill you. My sister thought you were her friend, and you killed her. You shall know the meaning of revenge, farm boy, and the lady will be mine. If I can't have her, no one else can.
Can you see them? Are they still alive?
You fight like a demon, but I won't rest until Whisper is avenged. You think you can steal her heart just by killing me? The lady loves me! Looks like this is where it ends. It's a dark day that sees Whisper's killer defeat me. If the lady only knew what you are, how black your heart is. Leave me alone now.
What? I can't kill him? But he wanted to kill me! Why can't I do the same? Ah, well, fine. Let's go back to Lady Grey and tell her that little Thunder Boy was no issue for the one and only Chicken Chaser.
Oh, my hero. I heard what happened. No one could have proven themselves worthier than you. I'm so happy. I must make the arrangements for the wedding at once. And if you so much as look at another woman before then, I shall have her pretty head chopped off.
And so the hero married. And for one day at least, the troubles of a hard world were put aside.
We're now married to the mayor of Bowerstone and even got 15,000 gold for marrying. All of this is just additional stuff. I simply wanted to hurt Thunderboy. Well, we are not finished with Lady Grey yet though, as we still have to figure out if the rumors about her and her sister are actually true. Now let me read this out for you. The air is running out and I have hardly the strength to scratch the words on this letter. The lamp was extinguished hours ago, and my life cannot be long in following it, now that I have resigned to my fate. However, I am concerned solely with my duty as the eldest of the Grey children, rightful heir to the office of the Bowerstone mayoralty. I can only hope that these words are one day found, and the truth they speak become known to all. I die at the hand of my sister, Elvira. The new Lady Grey is a murderess. I grow weary now. Sleep is upon me, and... So our wife, Lady Grey, or Elvira to be more precise, killed her own sister and took her place as the mayor of Bowerstone. Well, too bad for you, Amanda. I'm evil, so I don't care during this playthrough. But Elvira cares about the fact that we found the letter and the corpse.
Is this the way to repay a wife's love? Listening to deranged rumor-mongers, sneaking behind her back. Gethin will die in the morning, and now you will hand me that letter.
And that is the end. We live happily ever after. Now we can continue with our main story. Through an underground passage, we managed to get to the Bargate prison, where our mother is held as a captive.
I told you. Touch me again, and I'll wring your neck. Wait. I know you. No, it's a trick. You're not my son. The bastard's playing with my head. But it really is you, isn't it? What the hell were you thinking coming here? Don't you see he'll take us both? Never mind. We've got to get out of here. Get this damn cage open.
Our attempt to escape wasn't going well.
It isn't polite to leave without saying goodbye.
Bastard!
This child of yours is quite the hero, dear Scarlet. Did you know he's being crowned arena champion? You would have been so proud of him. It must run in the family. That and getting locked up in one of my charming little cells.
You disgusting freak. Let him go. He doesn't know anything.
Oh, I think you'll find he knows a great deal. You see, the arena seal I gave him has been showing me his every movement. It has been most entertaining. Digging up graves, saving old fools, meeting with that crazy sister of his.
Teresa?
Yes, it appears your darling little daughter is alive too. She's told him all about the sword, and that wretched bloodline of yours. And now, my sweet, you're going to tell me where the key is.
You just get yourself nice and comfortable there. We'll be back to get you and the other scum later. Then, we'll have a bit of fun. He'll enjoy it, won't he, Tibbs?
Go to hell, pig.
So we are locked up and held in prison. But once a year there's a race between the inmates, and the fastest person gets invited to the office of the warden. This is again a sneak or stealth mission, where we have to get a password and then open the locked books to hopefully find a key while the guard is busy reading something to us. I said it before and I will say it again. Sneaking in Fable 1 is absolutely terrible, and I hate it every time it is required.
It's painfully obvious you have no interest in the arts. My lyrical opus is wasted on your Philistine ears. Back to the cell with you.
Welcome to your temporary home, the torture chamber. We're gonna have some fun with you. Yeah, we're gonna enjoy this.
The darkness of the cell consumed the hero's mind. And it consumed his life too. Another year would pass by in this prison. Another year of torture. The ancient, noble blood in his veins, the power of the guild, none of it meant a thing inside these walls. And all this time, Jack of Blades was free to roam Albion. The hero would not be beaten, he would be free.
So a year passed and it is time for the next race. We again win and get again invited into the office of the warden. It is the same stealth mission as before, but this time we manage to get the key. We are put back into our cell, and when the guard leaves, we free all the prisoners, and a big battle between the prisoners and the guards ensues. We search for our stuff, free our mother once again, and attempt to flee a second time. Too bad that something is waiting for us.
It's not far now.
After killing the Kraken, we managed to escape, but our anger, our thirst for vengeance, only grew stronger. Jack has to pay for what he has done to our family.
Revenge burned like a sun within the hero, and his destiny was clear. Jack had cast a shadow over the whole of his life. He had been the architect of his sister's blind suffering and of his mother's imprisonment. And soon his power would be absolute.
Well, looks like you didn't turn out too badly after all. You did pretty well back there, but there's still so much to do. Jack is getting closer to the sword. I can feel it. He needs a key to unlock the sword from its hiding place, and now he knows where it is. The key is in Hook Coast, hidden in the ruins of an old abbey. You have to get to it first. We have one advantage. He doesn't know the key will only make itself known to one of our bloodline.
That's why we have to find your sister. As long as she's out there, Jack could use her. You should go to Darkwood and investigate the portal. There must be some way of activating it. It's the only way to get to Hook Coast. But first, I have a gift for you. There's power in your blood that hasn't been tapped yet. Feels good, doesn't it? From now on, I will be able to talk to you through your guild seal. Now go. I will try to find Teresa.
At this point, I stopped focusing on the main story for a while to actually finish some stuff on the side. For example, there are 30 silver keys in Fable, and with these silver keys you can open special chests that require that you have found a certain amount of keys. These have some pretty good items in them, even though I gotta say that I only did it for the achievement, because most of the stuff I got from them I didn't even use. I then continued to collect all the books for the school in Bowerstone. Maybe I will post a video after this one with all of the cutscenes when you deliver a book. But now, let's get back to our main story. Our journey brings us to a small snowy place called Hook Coast. The villagers are attacked by evil spirits, and the barrier blocks our path to progress. But luckily the guildmaster has a spell to break the barrier.
You're alive? Yes, I was worried when you disappeared. Your sister. I know. I had to tie her up. Jack is controlling her somehow. That's why I'm here. I'm trying to stop him.
He's lying. He's the one working for Jack.
No, she's trying to confuse you. She's...
There is really no time for this, old wizard. Finish the ritual, Maze. I'd like my key now.
It's almost over, and it will be easier with the boy here.
So, you escaped my little cage. I'm surprised it took you so long. I trust you didn't lose too much of that precious blood of yours getting out. The Septimal Key. You've hidden from me far too long. Take our 2 blood bags to the chamber. I shall be there soon.
Surprised? You shouldn't be. Only an idiot would oppose Jack. You can't win, boy. The world belongs to Jack now.
So Mace is working with Jack and betrayed us. I'll let the battle speak for itself.
I was wrong. Maybe you are strong enough to defeat Jack. You haven't got much time. He's using the key to activate the focus sites all over Albion. Then the sword will be his, and it'll be too late. They'll be trying to stop him. None of them can. Oh. You want to know why I did it, don't you? I suppose I'm just an old coward, boy. We don't all embrace death easily. For some of us, the only quest, is to escape death, whatever the cost. And it looks like I failed.
We have to stop Jack before he can activate the focus
Jack
sights.
has to be stopped. He's activating those rocks. Always thought they were damn ugly things. I don't want to die for them either. I guess we'll just have to kill them first. Come on, follow the path and turn right.
So Maze couldn't hold you. He wouldn't have seen the end of the day anyway. He had outlived his usefulness. You're too late here. This site is active. But don't worry, I haven't finished with you yet.
Looks like he's done whatever he was doing, but the portal is still open. Follow him through. I'll stay here and teach these animals who Briar Rose is.
I thought you weren't going to make it. You'll never catch up with me. How do you like the new world? This is just a taste of what's to come, my boy. Just 2 more to go now. Only one left. You aren't making this much of a challenge. And now your flesh and blood is waiting for me.
Damn it. We're too late. He must be at Headsman's Hill. That's where everyone else was heading. You better go after him. I'm exhausted. I need to find somewhere to rest.
Sweet Scarlet, I hope there is still some blood left in those hard old veins. But look, here comes a fresh supply. Are you ready to see the guild burn, hero?
Stop him!
There's nothing we could do. He has power like none I've ever seen. And he has your mother and sister too. If either of them dies, Azphel help us all. Stop him, lad. For all our sakes, stop him.
What a touching family reunion. The mother, the son, the daughter, and the sword. There's only one thing missing. It's your blood next. Then I will make this world burn.
Now here, the most difficult boss fight of the entire game starts. Jack will summon a bunch of his soldiers and also attack us himself in melee range. This is fairly easy, as you can see we immediately bring him down to the second phase of the fight, which is almost impossible for us, because we have only leveled melee attacks, but we can only reach him with ranged attacks because he is flying in the air. He has multiple different things he does here. First, he periodically summons a few smaller monsters. Then he shoots 4 or 5 times either an energy blade towards us or a few projectiles. And lastly comes his new overpowered move. He lifts his sword into the air and deals a lot of damage to us. This alone can easily kill us if we don't heal up quickly. What we are supposed to do is hide behind his pillars as soon as he starts this attack. This of course is made a bit harder with the ads that attack us while we want to hide behind the pillars. We could kill the additional monsters he spawns, but they will shortly after reappear because he summons them again and again. So the best solution is to ignore the spawned monsters and keep shooting at Jack while moving sideways. This way the small monsters won't reach us and we can simply dodge Jack's projectile attacks with a roll. The problem with this, and why I died here many times, is that I do absolutely no damage with a ranged weapon. I have not put a single skill point into ranged damage or a ranged damage spell, and I refuse to do that for this boss. I will kill this boss with my only melee character, no matter what.
And now comes the choice I spoke of so long ago. Strike me down now with the sword of Aeons, and you will become as powerful as Jack dreamt of being. Cast it into the vortex, and its darkness will be gone forever. So what will you do, little brother?
Isn't the choice quite obvious, sister? You know my answer.
The hero had triumphed over Jack of Blades. The dark power of the sword was his to wield now. Over the months that followed, those who did not already fear him learned to do so. His bloodlust seemed boundless. Yet even evil fury ebbs with time, and even the darkest heart requires purpose. News of his deeds faded away. A whole year passed. With Jack gone, Albion returned to something approaching peace. It was the calm before the storm. And unknowingly, the greatest of all heroes waited at its center. Hero, I'm sorry to disturb you, but we're receiving a message from Scythe, one of our oldest heroes. He left the guild for the Northern Wastes long ago, but now... Perhaps it would be best if you came to the boasting platform outside the guild and saw for yourself.
Because of this choice, we have become truly evil, and with this, our appearance changed. However, we are far from done. Another hero called Scythe went to the Northern Wastelands to stop the evil there, but it seemed to be too much to handle for him alone, so we have to go there as well. But to cross the sea, we need the Fireheart, and for that we need to solve a puzzle with the prophets.
We are the prophets of the Fireheart.
It was your destiny to seek us out, hero.
The beast arises in the frozen north. Only he who claims the heart can stop it.
Its mystical powers will guide you across the sea. There you must face a force of such evil. Not even death can silence its fury.
Oh, for crying out loud, just tell him to get us out of here.
Yes, we were coming to that. To obtain the Fireheart, you must solve the mystery of day and night.
And we'll finally be free.
Witness the board before you. Each time you turn all the moons into suns, you'll release one of us from our perpetual prison.
But fill the board with moons and one of us will perish, and the Fireheart will never be yours.
What? I thought you said he'd get it even if he gets us all killed. I heard you.
Quiet, you imbecile!
Look, it's very simple. Solve the damn puzzle. You get the heart, we get out of this hole. Everyone's happy, all right?
So if you didn't hear it, let me repeat that. We have to turn all the platforms into one symbol. If we don't manage to do it in the time limit, the Fireheart will burn us, meaning after it burns us twice, it is game over. If we turn all platforms into suns, one of the prophets will be set free and the next puzzle begins. If we turn all platforms into moons, one of the prophets will be killed and the next puzzle also begins. This is again a choice if you want to be evil or good, or if you simply do not care. Because on some levels it is easier to turn all platforms into moons, on other levels it is easier to turn all platforms into suns. So if you don't care about the outcome, you can just pick whatever is the easiest solution. But if you want to save them all, or in my case, kill them all, then you have to figure out how to turn all platforms into moons on every single level. I think it's a lot of fun because it is something different, but I also have to say that I hate that the character moves so damn slowly on these platforms. I failed 3 levels, even though I knew how to solve them because my character was too slow to finish it in time.
Oh, you were a nasty piece of work as soon as I saw you. I hope you choke on the fire heart.
We can now put the Fireheart into the watchtower of the Hook Coast. This summoned a ship with which we can travel to the Northern Wastes. Once we activate the teleporter here, we and our companions like Briar Rose here can then freely travel back and forth by teleporting, and we don't need to bother traveling with the ship anymore.
The strange, silent ship set sail into the featureless swell. Day after day, it carved its path among the waves, an ocean phantom moving ever forward. Then the moment came, when icy peaks speared out of the horizon mist. These were the shores of the Lost Bay. The northern wastes lay beyond them.
We make our way to the village called Snowspire to meet with Scythe. But on the way we meet Briar Rose, who has some interesting things to tell us.
There you are. So how was the cruise? Me? I'm more of a teleporter girl. Good thing your seal set the local ones off. I've managed to get a good look around, and this pile of stones might be worth investigating. See all those inscriptions? I'm heading back to the guild to work on the translations. You should carry on to Snowspire and speak with Scythe. He's waiting for you. Catch you later!
Welcome to Snowspire, hero. Walk with me. Speak of your journey. Summoners have reached Hook Coast. Then there is less time than I thought, and I have much to tell you. I arrived here many years ago, when the guild believed Jack of Blades would use the Snowspire Oracle in his search for the sword. Now it is we who are in need of its wisdom. To speak with it, we will need the glyphs of inquiry. They were hidden in the Age of Archon by 4 acolytes, who buried them deep in the haunted necropolis. I will send word to the necropolis guards to grant you passage.
Oh yes, Scythe told us to let you in. Well, I guess you better show him through.
Yeah, nice try, Mungo. It's your turn, and you know it.
Ah, nuts. All right then, follow me. Right, that's as far as I'm going. This place ain't safe, you know. The old town's full of ghosts. Folks say the poor beggars don't even realise they're dead. Anyway, take care looking for them, glyphs, they're called, right? You're not the first one that's come rummaging for pieces of carved stone, you know. The others found more than they bargained for, though. Rotting corpses, a lot of them now. Anyway, have a nice day.
Here in Necropolis, we have to gather the glyphs from the graves. And many enemies await us here, including the pretty fierce Snow Balverines. But whilst slaying the Balverines and undead, we also take our time to fish and finally get the last silver key here in Necropolis. Here's also a silver chest that contains a very strong armor, the Arcane Armor. And after a small mini-boss, we receive the last glyph we need to talk to the Snowspire Oracle. But before we move on, let's take care of the demon doors. I opened up all the demon doors. They are actually a lot of fun to figure out, because they speak often in riddles and you have to figure out what they actually mean with what they say. Sometimes it's obvious and sometimes it takes a while. And later, when you find out what the demon door actually wanted from you, you will simply feel stupid. Let me show you a few examples.
Your path is dark. Only a light will reveal it, and you are not bright enough. Your path is illuminated. Fancy that. You worked it out. Beware, traveler. I block the way to all but the most combat-hardened. If you request, my guardians will test your mettle in combat. Meet their challenge, and the reward I hide is yours. I see you are ready for your test. Very well. Guardians, attack! You defeated my guardians. I am knackered. Go on, get yourself through. What? Oh, you're not one of them, are you? My eyesight's not what it used to be. One was a gallant knight. His plate armor was so shiny. Probably what did my eyes in. Then there was an evil mage. Wore the darkest magical robes you ever saw. The last was a rogue. A bandit. Bit like the chaps here. Where is the gallant knight I await? Ah, I recognize you, the gallant knight. Where is the evil mage I await? I recognize you, the evil mage. Where is the mischievous bandit I await? I recognize you, the mischievous bandit. My friends, welcome.
Inside the demon doors await us small rewards. Weapons, potions, armor items, but due to us already having the arguably most powerful weapon in the game, it's basically only collectibles for us. And that is because usually you would open these doors much earlier than I did here. With all of the demon doors opened, we have finished another big achievement. But before we go to the main story, we visit this place.
A hero. Oh, I've long prayed someone from the guild would come and... But I'm forgetting my manners. My name is Madame Minch. Welcome to the famous Darkwood Bordello. Please, walk with me. As you can see, the Bordello is a haven of calm and pleasure in a perilous world. Weapons and spells are forbidden here. Men have come here for centuries to escape their worries and responsibilities. But, well, we've got problems of our own. Mr. Grope, the current owner, he's what you might call a cruel, sadistic, self-absorbed despot. He treats the girls like slaves, little better than animals. Most of them have nowhere else to go, of course. If only we could find the Bordello deeds. But I'm sure you don't want to hear all this. Please, enjoy your stay.
So the women here are not happy with the current owner and try to find the Bordello deed so they can get rid of Mr. Grope. Obviously I helped them, and of course I didn't want their services.
Hello, love, I'm Polly. Used to call me Pretty Polly, and now it's just Polly. A wild ride with me will only cost you 50 gold. Cheap at twice the price. What do you think?
It's about him.
Welcome, hero. I am Lucretia. If you are looking for something a little more exotic, you will find what you seek with me. Do I see a flicker of interest? You'll be back.
Me, Mistress Hedwig, you little puny man. Do what Hedwig say. But first, you pay Hedwig 2,000 gold. Yeah? You too puny for...
Well met, sir. I am Lady Sophia. I am here to entertain our more upmarket clients. I am not inexpensive, but you will find me most uncommon. I am the best. Well, I doubt you could afford me anyway.
No, sorry, I failed.
Well, hello there, hero. My name is Amelia, and I think I know exactly what you're looking for. All I need is the chance to show you.
In order to find out where the bordello deed is, we have to make Mr. Grope drunk. So we simply hand him a few beers, and then...
You are the best customer I have ever had, sir. 6? Mighty Apple, I never feel too well. I think I'm heading upstairs for a nap, my good sir.
Oh, it's you, boss. Everything all right?
I think I've had a few too many.
Better get you to bed. Sleep it off. Can you manage him, hero? All right then, in you go.
You can steal the bordello from under my nose, do? Well, you won't get far without the deeds. And I've got those in the safe place. Oh, no one will think of looking for them there. I'm under the old tree down by the lake.
You've got the deeds. Does that mean we're finally rid of old Grope? Oh, this is wonderful.
What? Huh? How did you find it? It was perfectly hidden. This place meant everything to me, and now you've ruined it. Why, if you weren't quite such an imposing hero, I'd show you a thing or two. Well, I hope it rots and drops off.
Well, I suppose that makes you the new proprietor, then. Hello, sir. I've been speaking with the girls, and, well, we've had enough of this life. And now that old Grope is gone, I know it's a lot to ask, but perhaps you would consider turning this house into a refuge for fallen women? What? Are you sure, sir? Once they've tasted freedom, my girls will never want to go back to being prostitutes. Oh, girls! You don't have to work anymore. You're free!
We are very grateful to you. We're finding there is more to life than the lust that filled this house.
I had to drop out of school when I left home, but now I can get back to my studies.
I've earned enough gold to buy my own place, but I don't know. This is my family, and here I can put the money to good use.
Hedwig, happy now.
Thank you, sir. My whole life has passed me by, but at least now I can enjoy some peace.
What a good person we are. That should surely excuse every evil deed we ever did, right? Let's now return to our main story and talk to the Snow Spiral Oracle. So to explain that shortly, the Bronze Gate is always closed, and the prophecy in this region is that if the Bronze Gate should ever open, the end of everything is near. We return to Briar Rose and she lets us know more about the altar that should open the Bronze Gate.
Hey, glad you're still with us. These inscriptions are fascinating, you know. Everything indicates that Jack's new form will emerge from behind the Bronze Gate, and this structure is the key to opening it. But it looks like it'll take the souls of 3 heroes to activate the mechanism. These things are never simple, are they? It doesn't want just any heroes either. The first instruction calls for the King of the Arena, no less. I suppose you could chop your own head off, but then there'd be no one for me to order around, would there? Why don't you pay Thunder a visit? He knows the arena inside and out. I've checked with the guild and they say he's in Knothole Glade. You've still got Jack's mask, haven't you? Good. You'll need it to trap the souls. I still can't believe he might not be dead. Anyway, I better start researching the second inscription.
These quests to receive the souls of heroes are again a very interesting choice. You will see what I mean in a minute. First we go to Thunder and talk with him about the hero soul we need.
Now look, I won't tell you again. We don't need a hero. For the first time in years, we aren't being attacked, sieged, or kidnapped by anything. Now leave us alone!
You? Briar Rose said you would come. I will tell you what I know, if it will get you out of my sight. We were both once called Kings of the Arena, but there have been many heroes in the past who have claimed that name. You should search in the bloody dust of the arena itself. They say the souls of past champions haunt it, resting in the place of their greatest achievement. Now go, unless you're here to take my soul, just as you took my sister.
So Thunder tells us that we can go to the arena and get a hero soul there. But not only does he himself give us the idea that we could kill him instead as well, but the Mask of Jack is also talking to us, trying to convince us to kill Thunder. I didn't even hesitate, because he was simply an asshole to us during the entire playthrough.
Strike him down.
After killing Thunder and taking his soul, we return to Briar Rose to learn more about the second soul we need. But I gotta say, I love Briar Rose's reaction when she realized that we killed Thunder. She is like, was it Thunder's soul? Anyway.
I hope this thing works. You need to release the soul from the mask and, well, your guess is as good as mine. Was that Thunder's soul? That's not exactly what I had in mind when I sent you to him. Anyway, we figured out the second inscription. It says, the heroine. I can't think of anyone who fits the description better than Scarlet Robe, your mother. There's always me, of course, but as you can see, I'm still alive, and I plan to stay that way. You'll have to pay her tomb in Oakvale another visit. I know this won't be easy, but Scarlet was always one to make sacrifices, remember?
The second soul we need is either the soul of our mother, Scarlet Robe, or Briar Rose right in front of us. The decision is pretty easy, I would say. Briar Rose has some very unique skills which include creating mirror images of herself. But in the end, we managed to defeat her. Now is only one last soul missing, but with Briar Rose gone, we do not know who could fit the last missing soul. Until we get some advice from Jack's mask.
Trusting. It was a real pleasure watching her die. Her quest is complete. But how will you know what the last inscription says now? Ah, the oldest soul. Why, the Guildmaster would be a perfect choice, don't you think? Oh, I'm going to enjoy this.
The last soul we need is the Guildmaster, and he knows we're coming. That is why he has surrounded himself with guards and locked himself away in the Guild Forest.
I still remember the night you were brought to us, Milan. I knew even then what great potential you had, what great things you would accomplish. Such a pity it has to end like this. Can't you see Jack is using you to destroy the Guild? I can't allow you to do this. Guards!
After a long battle with the many guards around him, he gives us one last chance before he prepares himself to unleash his full power.
When Maze betrayed me, I knew he was a coward. But you are the biggest disappointment of all. You have been given too much power, and it has corrupted you. But it isn't too late to turn back. Stop this now, and there is still hope for you, for all of us. Please, let me teleport you to the graveyard. Take Nostro's soul instead. Very well, hero. Do your worst. I am no defenseless old man. I have powers that you can't begin to...
With all 3 souls gathered, we can now open the Bronze Gate and face Jack. Ready for our final battle, we go through the Bronze Gate.
Here you are. It's been a long wait, but I knew you'd free me eventually. Yes, always the puppet. Don't you ever get tired of having your strings pulled? I am no mortal man. The gods and demons you fear and worship are as nothing to me.
With our incredible melee strength and a big amount of healing items, we could simply power through the last fight, basically skipping most of his mechanics by doing a lot of damage that the boss wasn't prepared for.
All this heat, all these flames, it's just like the day Azphel burned.
After the boss fight, Scythe warns us to not wear the mask, and the mask is trying to convince us of the power we could claim by wearing the mask.
The battle is not over yet. You must destroy the mask. Whatever you do, you must not wear it.
Because envy your power.
I decided to throw Jack's mask away and not be tempted by the evil spirit within it. And then you see the good man Chicken Chaser walk out of the Bronze Gate.
It was a battle that will be talked about for centuries to come. The day the hero of Oakvale slew the dragon, Jack of Blades. The day the strange creature behind the mask was finally banished from this world. What would become of the guild and its heroes, of the men and women of Albion? No one could say. Only one thing was certain. The struggle between good and evil, between the weak and the powerful, would go on forever.
And with this, the credits roll, and we have officially beaten the story of Fable 1. However, that does not mean that we are finished yet. We want to finish the game with 100% of the achievements. After picking the morally good choice at the end, we do not have our red glowing eyes anymore, and our horns have shrunk down by a lot. We have to atone for our sins, for all the evil choices we made during our journey. And as we all know, the best way to negate the effects of being a bad human being is to donate money, which they later write off as taxes, but do not worry about that part. But here we have another problem. We do not have enough money to cleanse our evil deeds. But do not fret. Chicken Chaser has a wonderful idea. He wants to buy houses and rent them out to make more money. But there's only one house available in each village. The other villagers that are in possession of houses do not want to sell them. That is a shame. But what if, for some unknown reason, the villagers that possess houses would disappear? Then Chicken Chaser would be able to buy the houses and rent them out to receive more money over time. Of course, this was not for Chicken Chaser's own benefit, but instead he only wants to make money to repent for his sins. And slowly over time, with a lot of gold donated, Chicken Chaser's evil deeds got washed away, and everyone saw the good person he always was. Nobody cares about the many murders anymore. Nobody cares that he killed every other hero. That he even killed his own sisters in his pursuit for more power. Because money fixes everything. Well, not for us. We still have a couple of achievements to finish. Most of them are small and silly ones, like this one where I had to wear a complete dress and a red wig. And then I had to headshot an enemy. But there is another achievement that I found quite interesting. For this achievement we had to do 6 different side quests, and after each one we got a treasure clue. And with the help of the treasure clues we had to find out where the treasure is. So, to begin our quest, go to the region where scrumping hops were discovered in Legion. I first thought it would be the hop caves, but the second clue made it a bit clearer. Your hunt for the treasure can only come good if you start your search where fruit lies in wood. This means it is the orchard where we had a little hop killing competition against Whisper. With your back to the lake, walk into the light. Proceed no further when it's no longer in sight. So facing away from the lake, we go down the path until we don't see the light post anymore. The nearest construction points with its limb. Follow its direction, but don't stop on a whim. So the light post is the nearest construction, and even though it points towards the wall, we should not let this stop us, and we have to go around that wall. You're not going in circles, but riddle me this. Repeat the last clue, and you won't go amiss. This means the nearest construction now is this sign, and this points towards the barn. Your reward is buried at the end of your trail. Proceed as directed till you're twixt wood and bale. And this simply means that the treasure is buried between the wooden barn walls and the hay pile. And we get the so important frying pan. Okay. And for the achievement, we simply have to hit an enemy with it. And that's it. We got it. Now there are only 2 achievements left. The first one we do is collecting all the hero dolls. We can get them by playing a few minigames. First, the Briar Rose doll. For that we have to complete the card pairs game in under 30 seconds. Next up, the Whisper Doll. For that we have to play coin golf and complete it with less than 11 actions. This is actually a lot of fun if you ignore the screaming people around you. The third one is the Twin Blade doll, where the guy shows you little figurines of different creatures and items, and then he adds one and you have to guess which figurine got added. All 5 rounds have to be completed in under 25 seconds to receive the doll, which is fine because I did it in not even 18 seconds and I wouldn't say I'm really into this game. The next doll is of Scarlet Robe. Here we have to sort cards. The guy lays down 3 cards and you have to click on the lowest number, and then the lowest after that, and so on. The next round he lays 4 cards, after that 5, and so on. You have to complete 7 rounds of these in under 25 seconds. I don't know why they chose this camera angle for this game, but it makes the game a lot harder because the control with this camera angle is absolutely weird. Anyway, we did it and can move on. The next one is the Doll of Maze. We can get it by playing the minigame in Hook Coast. The game itself could be a lot of fun if it wasn't for the awfully wrong counting system. How is this a 5 instead of a 10, and how is this a 4 instead of a 10? It is pretty annoying because it feels very random as what the game wants to count the number. But finally we managed to reach more than 30 points, which gave us the Maze doll. Before we get to the last minigame, we can simply buy the Thunderboy doll from the shop in Bowerstone North. And the last doll is of Scythe. We can get it by playing another round of coin golf in the Snowspire village. This time we have to do it with 10 or less actions. As I said before, I kinda like this minigame. It's not time-based, it's not made difficult with a bad control system or a bad camera angle, it's simply an enjoyable little minigame. With all of the dolls collected, we can return to Bowerstone and bring the teacher the hero dolls.
Now, you have collected all the hero dolls, hmm? No, that's not all of them. We have a very special doll at the school, you see. The thing is, we don't have enough dolls to make the children happy. Oh dear. If you would donate these dolls to us, we could exchange them for something you would like. Will you give us your dolls? Thanks. I mean it. Here, take this rare doll in exchange. What do you say?
Now only one achievement is missing, the Fight Cluck achievement. For this, Chicken Chaser has to win the chicken kicking competition. It sadly has the same problems as the minigame in Hook Coast, where it clearly lands on something different than the game recognizes it. But it's kicking chickens, how could you not be happy? Whilst you can see my amazing chicken kicking skills in the background, let me give you my final thoughts on the game. Even today in the year 2025, I can absolutely recommend other people to play this game. It is enjoyable, everything is voiced, you have choices that not only matter story-wise, but also affect the appearance of your character. You can see my character gaining these demonic traits as I committed more and more evil deeds, and later when I switched to being morally good, I even have a halo around my head. Something I didn't mention during this video that some of you might have noticed is that my character started with no scars, but later on you can see him having scars on his face. This is because in Fable, every time you get killed, where you have to restart a quest or reload, there is a chance that your character receives a scar. It is a tiny thing that also a lot of people dislike because they do not want their character to have a scar, but I personally like the general idea of it. Now there are also quite a few negative points to the game. The most annoying one being the control, or more specifically the targeting system. It simply feels weird and clunky. The random screaming of villagers when they see you can be a nice touch if it happens every now and then, but as you heard during my minigame journey, it can get very annoying if you want to focus on remembering the figurines, but the villagers are screaming into your ears non-stop. The housing system where you can buy houses and rent them out to receive a passive income is amazing. I love this. However, I gotta say, it is not good that you basically have to kill the villagers to be able to buy the houses from them, and then rent them out when they respawn. I also dislike the fact that you have to run around the villages and houses to pick up the rent money. Making this a passive income that gets simply added into your inventory would have been a better choice. And here we can make the comparison to Fable 2. It was a long time ago when I played Fable 2, but from what I can remember, it is a direct upgrade to everything that makes the first Fable game great. The combat feels much better, the housing system is better because you do not need to kill anyone to buy the house, you can simply buy them from the get-go at the start of the game. And also you do not need to run around collecting the rent money, it is simply added to your inventory, which makes it so enjoyable to do. This is one of the really overlooked features in RPGs. Almost no game really does that, and from what I've seen online, everyone seems to like this system of buying and renting out houses. Now I can only repeat myself, I really did enjoy my time playing the first Fable game. And honestly, it isn't even that long. To complete it with 100% achievements, it only took me like 20 to 25 hours. But this is proof that the game doesn't need to be long if the experience of these 20 hours is amazing. And Fable truly is a great game. Especially if we want to just lean back, relax and play a bit. Because everything is voiced, you do not have to bother with reading tons of pages of text to understand the story or something. Everything gets explained to you, and even the books that you find during your journey are read to you by the teacher and the students in a humorous way. I personally always hate tutorials in games, but Fable does it perfectly. It gives you bite-sized chunks of gameplay tutorials, and afterwards a way to use what you learned by giving you a small quest that ties in with the main story. Again, props to the developers, you have done an amazing job of this. And with that, we are at the end of the video. Thank you all for watching, and leave a comment to let me know your experience with Fable, or maybe suggest another game that I should play. Have a wonderful day and see you next time. Bye!